Have you ever wondered if the message you are about to hear was written for your heart before you even pressed play? Bismillah-ir-Rahman-ir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Basiraddin. If you are here today, do not think it is by accident. Perhaps Allah, in His perfect wisdom, brought you to this video because your soul needed a reminder, your heart needed light, and your mind needed truth. Stay with me until the end, because throughout this video, you will discover powerful lessons, deep reflections, and meaningful reminders that can strengthen your faith, awaken your heart, and help you see your life through the wisdom of Islam. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and listen carefully, because this may be more than just a video. This may be a reminder Allah wanted you to hear today. Nothing in your life is random. In Islam, we are taught that Allah is Al-Alim, the one who knows all things, seen and unseen. The moment you clicked on this video, the thoughts in your heart, the burdens on your chest, and the questions you have been silently carrying were already known by Him. So ask yourself, what if this reminder reached you today because Allah, in His mercy, wanted to speak to your soul through it? Sometimes we search everywhere for answers, while forgetting that Allah can send reminders in the most unexpected ways. A verse, a prayer, a hardship, a conversation, or even a video like this can become a means of guidance. Perhaps you have been feeling spiritually tired, emotionally overwhelmed, or lost in the noise of this dunya. Yet Allah, in His perfect wisdom, reminds His servants at the exact moment they need it most. There are hearts listening right now that have been aching in silence. Hearts that smile in front of people, but cry to Allah at night. If that is you, then let this be a gentle reminder that your Lord has not abandoned you. The one who created your heart knows exactly how to heal it. The one who allowed the storm also controls the calm that follows it. Your presence here may be a sign that Allah is calling you back to Him with love. When Allah wants good for a servant, He opens for them doors of reflection. He makes them pause, think, and remember that this life is not only about what we see in front of us. It is also about the hidden wisdom behind every delay, every test, and every turn in the road. Maybe what you thought was a coincidence is actually Qadr unfolding with divine precision. Maybe this message found you because Allah wants you to see your life through faith, not fear. So do not watch this with a distracted heart. Listen with sincerity. Reflect with humility. And let every word be a reminder that Allah is nearer to you than you realize. If this message has reached you, then perhaps it is because your Lord, the most merciful, is giving you another chance to remember Him, trust Him, and walk forward with a heart that is once again alive with Iman. There is something powerful about the fact that you are still here. After everything that could have broken you, after every disappointment, every tear, every unanswered prayer, and every moment of weakness, Allah still allowed you to wake up, breathe, and continue. That is not a small thing. It is a mercy. It is a sign that your story is not over, and that your Lord still has wisdom unfolding in your life. Being chosen by Allah does not always look like ease, comfort, or immediate success. Sometimes being chosen means being tested in ways that purify the heart and strengthen the soul. The prophets, who were the most beloved to Allah, were also among the most tested. So if your road has been heavy, do not assume it is a sign of rejection. It may be a sign that Allah is raising you, cleansing you, and preparing you for something your current self is still growing into. Every hardship that pushes you toward prayer is a hidden gift. Every tear that brings you to sujood is a mercy in disguise. Every moment that makes you say, Ya Allah, with sincerity, is drawing you closer to the one who never turns away from his servants. You may feel weak, but your weakness before Allah is not failure. It is one of the most beautiful forms of dependence, because it reminds you that strength has always come from Him. Allah may be teaching you to let go of the dunya that distracted you, and to hold tightly to what truly remains. He may be teaching you patience when your soul wanted speed, trust when your heart wanted certainty, and surrender when your nafs wanted control. These lessons are not easy, but they are sacred. They shape a believer into someone who relies not on people, not on outcomes, but on the Lord of the heavens and the earth. So, if you have been wondering why your journey feels so different, why your path has been harder than you expected, remember this: Allah does not burden a soul except with what it can bear. He sees something in you that you may not yet see in yourself. He knows the servant you are becoming. And perhaps the reason you are still standing after everything is because Allah, in His wisdom and mercy, has chosen you to keep going, keep growing, and keep returning to Him. There are moments in life when you ask Allah for something with your whole heart, and yet the answer does not come when you expect it. You make dua in the quiet of the night. You wait with tears in your eyes, and still the door remains closed. But Islam teaches us that delay does not mean neglect, and silence does not mean abandonment. Allah hears every whisper before it even leaves your lips, and His wisdom is never absent from the things He withholds. What you see as a delay may actually be divine protection. There are blessings you desire that Allah knows would hurt you if they arrived too soon, or in the form you asked for. Sometimes the heart wants what the soul is not ready to carry. Sometimes the believer asks for something beautiful, while Allah, in His greater knowledge, knows that another path contains more barakah, more peace, and more safety. So when the answer is delayed, remember that your Lord sees beyond the moment, while you only see what is in front of you. The believer is never left empty when making sincere dua, even when the exact request is not granted immediately. Allah responds in ways the servant may not yet understand. He may remove a harm you never saw. He may save the reward for the hereafter, or He may be teaching your heart the sweetness of patience and reliance. In every sincere supplication, there is worship. In every moment of waiting, there is a hidden opportunity to deepen your trust in Allah. This is why the waiting itself can become a mercy if it brings you closer to Him. We live in a world that urges instant answers, instant success, and instant comfort. But the path of faith teaches something more powerful. Sabr. Patience is not weakness, and it is not passive suffering. It is the strength to continue turning to Allah without losing hope in His promise. It is the quiet confidence that what has been written for you cannot miss you, and what has missed you was never meant to be yours. The heart that learns this begins to rest, not because life becomes easy, but because it knows Allah is in control. So if you have been waiting, do not let Shaitan convince you that your dua has been ignored. Hold on to your trust. Continue asking, continue believing, and continue walking toward Allah with humility. The one who delayed something from you is the same one who can open a better door in a single moment. And when that moment comes, you may finally understand that what felt like denial was actually one of the greatest forms of mercy your Lord ever gave you. There are wounds people can see, and there are wounds only Allah knows. Some pains are carried behind smiles, hidden in quiet moments, buried under daily routines and polite words. Yet no matter how invisible your struggle may seem to others, it is never hidden from Allah. He knows the heaviness in your chest, the tears you never explain, and the battles you fight in silence. In Islam, this awareness brings comfort because it reminds the believer that even unseen pain is fully witnessed by the most merciful. Pain in this dunya is not meaningless when it is endured with faith. Every hardship a believer faces has the potential to cleanse sins, soften the heart, and raise their rank in the sight of Allah. Even the sorrow that leaves you speechless, even the test that made you feel alone, can become a means of purification. Allah does not waste the tears of a believer, nor does He ignore the patience of a servant who holds on through difficulty. What hurts you in this life may be shaping your soul for something far greater than you can imagine. Sometimes pain changes a person in ways comfort never could. It humbles the heart, breaks pride, and teaches the servant how deeply they need Allah. Many people only discover the sweetness of sincere dua after they have exhausted every worldly solution. Many hearts only fully return to Allah after they have felt how fragile this dunya truly is. So while pain is difficult, it can also be a doorway. It can lead a person away from illusion and into a more real, more honest relationship with their Creator. This does not mean you must pretend that suffering feels easy. Islam does not ask you to deny your emotions. Even the prophets felt grief, sadness, and loss, but they turned their pain into worship. They cried to Allah, trusted His wisdom, and remained patient without letting despair consume them. That is the beauty of faith. It does not erase pain, but it gives pain meaning. It teaches you that suffering is not the end of your story, and that every trial can become a step toward Allah if you carry it with sincerity. So if your heart has been hurting, do not think your pain is empty or forgotten. Allah is closer than you realize, and He is aware of every burden you carry. What breaks you before people may be the very thing that raises you before your Lord. And perhaps one day, when Allah replaces your sorrow with peace, you will look back and see that even your pain had a purpose. Even your tears were counted, and even your hardest days were leading you toward His mercy. There are seasons in life when your heart feels shattered, when disappointment settles deep within you, and when the weight of this dunya makes you wonder if you will ever feel whole again. But as a believer, you must remember that Allah did not create you to remain in a state of brokenness forever. He created your heart with the ability to return, to heal, and to become stronger through remembrance of Him. What feels like the end of your strength may only be the beginning of your return to the One who restores all things with His mercy. Many people search for healing in places that were never meant to save them. They look to people, status, wealth, or worldly validation, hoping these things will repair the emptiness within. But the soul was created by Allah, and only closeness to Allah can truly calm it. This is why even those who seem to have everything can still feel lost. while a servant who sincerely remembers Allah can find peace in the middle of hardship. The heart was never designed to be fully healed by creation, when its deepest need has always been the Creator. The pain you carry may have changed you, but it does not have to define you forever. Islam teaches that hardship is part of life, yet despair should never become the home of the believer. No matter how far you feel from peace, the door of Allah remains open. Through salah, through dua, through tawbah, and through trusting His wisdom, a heart that once felt dead can come alive again. This is one of the greatest mercies of our faith, that no matter how wounded the soul becomes, Allah can still bring light back into it. Sometimes Allah allows you to be broken by this world so you can stop depending on it. He lets you see the weakness of people, the emptiness of temporary things, and the instability of worldly attachments, so your heart can turn toward what truly lasts. This breaking is painful, but it can also be sacred. It can teach you that your worth was never in what people gave you, never in who stayed or left, and never in how the dunya treated you. Your worth has always been known by Allah, and your healing has always been closest when you return to Him. So if you feel exhausted, wounded, or spiritually drained, do not believe that this is how your story must remain. Allah is able to heal what no one else can reach. He is able to replace heaviness with tranquility, fear with trust, and sorrow with hope. Keep turning back to Him, even if your steps are slow. The one who created your heart knows exactly how to mend it, and with every sincere return, you are moving closer to the peace your soul has been searching for all along. There are times when the heart only truly wakes up after it has been shaken. When life feels comfortable, many people become absorbed in the dunya, distracted by routines, ambitions, and attachments that slowly pull them away from remembering Allah. But when hardship enters, when a door closes, when something beloved is taken away, the soul begins to search for what is real. In those moments, a person often finds themselves turning back to Allah with a sincerity they had not felt in a long time. What seemed like a painful interruption may actually have been a mercy pulling the heart back to its Lord. Sometimes your greatest pain becomes the reason for your deepest prayer. A heartbreak, a disappointment, a fear, or a loss can make you raise your hands with a humility that comfort never taught you. This is one of the hidden wisdoms in trials. Allah may allow the dunya to feel unstable so that your heart stops leaning on it completely. He may remove what distracted you so you can rediscover what truly sustains you. And when a servant begins calling on Allah with a broken but sincere heart, that moment can become more valuable than many years of heedlessness. The return to Allah is not always dramatic. Sometimes it begins quietly. It begins with one sincere dua, one tear in sujood, one moment of reflection, one verse that reaches your chest differently than before. Little by little, the heart that was once asleep begins to soften. The person who once felt distant begins to long for closeness again. This is not weakness. This is guidance. It is Allah, in His mercy, drawing His servant back before they become too lost in the illusion of this life. So much anxiety enters the heart when a person begins to think that they have lost what was meant for them. They compare their life to others. They grieve doors that closed, and they become restless over things that passed by. But the believer is taught to trust Qadr. If something truly belonged to you, it would have reached you by the permission of Allah, and if it left, then there is wisdom in its departure. This does not mean you should not feel sadness. but it means your sadness should never become hopelessness. What Allah withholds is never without reason, and what He gives is always according to knowledge far beyond your own. Sometimes the heart becomes attached to something that was never written to remain. It may be a person, a job, a plan, or a dream. When it slips away, the pain feels unbearable because you imagined your peace was tied to it. But Allah, in His mercy, sometimes removes what you cling to so you can learn to cling to Him instead. The loss may hurt, but within it is a reminder. Your future is not in the hands of creation. Your future is with the One who controls all affairs, who opens doors no one can shut, and who replaces what is lost with what is better when the time is right. Trusting that what is meant for you will never miss you does not make a person passive. Rather, it makes them calm while they strive. You still make dua, still work hard, still seek what is good, but your heart no longer lives in panic. You do not break yourself trying to force what Allah has not written, and you do not collapse over what has gone. You move with effort, but also with surrender. This balance is beautiful in Islam. To act responsibly while resting inwardly in the decree of Allah. So if you are grieving something that did not happen, or something that did not stay, remind yourself with sincerity that Allah is never late, and His plan is never flawed. What is written for you is already on its way, in the form and timing that He knows is best. And what was never meant for you was not a failure in your life, but a mercy in disguise. Place your trust in Allah, because the heart that truly believes in His decree begins to heal, begins to rest, and begins to walk through life with a deeper kind of peace. As we come to the end of this reminder, take a moment and reflect on what your heart felt while listening. Perhaps something within you softened, perhaps something awakened, or perhaps something you had been ignoring finally made sense. Know that this is not by chance. Allah allows certain words to reach you when your soul is ready to receive them. Before you leave, choose one word that reflects what you are taking from this message today. It could be saber, tawakkul, hope, faith, or any word that touched your heart. Write that word in the comments as a quiet intention between you and Allah, a reminder you can return to whenever you feel lost or overwhelmed. And if this message meant something to you, help it reach more hearts. You can now support the video using YouTube's new Hype feature. By tapping it, you help spread this reminder so others who may be struggling can find comfort, guidance, and light through it. May Allah keep your heart firm, guide your khutuwat, and fill your life with barakah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.